Hey, we want to take a second to thank our sponsors, our friends over at Marcus Theaters, the Palace Cinema here in Sun Prairie. It's truly the place to watch movies. Come in and be greeted by a friendly face when you enter. Come get your tickets. Then make sure to stop by the concession stand to get some delicious refreshments.
Here you go.
Thank you. Then settle into a dream lounger, sit back, relax, put your feet up, and enjoy the show. Hey, it's Real Reviews. Hello and welcome to Real Reviews. It's your July episode. I'm Jameson Rabbit, and of course, joining me as always, it's our good friend Steve Sabaki. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing great. We are at the end of July right now. Summer is starting to come to a close.
Should we start with a trivia question?
Oh, I love trivia.
Okay, we're going to talk about this gentleman a little later on in the show.
Okay.
Mr. Nolan, Christopher Nolan.
Heard of him.
What was the very first film that he did as a director?
The Following.
Oh, God. Did you see my notes?
No, I just know I've seen every one of his movies.
Did you see this one?
Yes.
This was in 1998. The crew is made up of his friends, all of whom were working full-time jobs elsewhere on weekdays. Filming exclusively took place on Saturdays, and the film's budget was estimated to be a whopping $6,000.
Not much has changed. All these years
I never
later.
heard of it until now.
Oh, yeah. I remember maybe when Inception came out, I started digging back into his past. And that was the only one I hadn't seen before that. So
Is it any good?
yeah, it's all right. You can see the bones of what he would go on to do.
All right.
Yeah.
Wow, you are a movie master.
I'm a completist, sir.
Wow. I didn't
like
think you were
trivia.
going to get that.
Bring the trivia every
Okay,
week.
all right.
So here we are. It's, I mean, we're going to be talking about a handful of movies. Not a ton out this month because it was kind of dominated by a couple of movies at the box office. And so we'll have some discussions about those. One of which, I mean, I don't know about you, I've been looking forward to for quite a while. So I'm looking forward to talking about that. But, and then we're going to talk about, at the end of the episode, we're going to let you know what we've thought about the first half of 2026 so far and the movies that we've enjoyed so far.
Yep.
And we might have differing lists on that. But let's get started, and I'm going to let you get us started with the superhero movie of the month.
Yeah, Supergirl, directed by Craig Gillespie, and Millie Alcock returns as Kara Zor-El. She's Supergirl. We saw her briefly at the end of Superman last year. She is Superman's cousin, and yes, the movie does have an origin story embedded in it that explains that. Like Superman, she's a Kryptonian, and because Kryptonians are healed and gain powers from yellow suns, Kara likes to party on planets with red suns where she can get drunk. And so the movie starts with Kara traveling from planet to planet with her overly cute CGI dog Crypto, celebrating her 23rd birthday, getting super sloshed at planetary dive bars. She gets calls every once in a while from Superman. He tries to convince her to return to Earth, but she ignores the calls and his request. During one of her stops, she encounters Ruthie Marie-Canole?
Sure.
Is that right? I don't know. The last survivor of her family, who was murdered by Krem of the Yellow Hills, who's leader of a ruthless bandit group known as the Brigands. And Ruthie is played by Eve Ridley, and Krem's played by Matthias Schoenaerts. Mm-hmm. And in true Grit style, Ruthie asks Kara for her help in her quest for vengeance against Krem, but Kara rejects the request. Kara is on a quest to go after Krem herself, but for an entirely different reason that involves Crypto. Cue the Kleenex. I'm not going to go and say any more than that. But as expected, Ruthie's persistent in forming a partnership with Kara. Last year's Superman, one of my favorite movies of 2025. It was in my top 10 best of list. Fun, funny, bright, colorful, sweet. Superman was a nice guy. He saved a squirrel. There was one scene where he had a long conversation with Lois Lane. It worked. And I thought the new DC universe led by James Gunn got off to a great start. And I looked at my notes from when we reviewed Superman, and I said, quote, "I am now looking forward to what the future brings with Supergirl." Wah, wah, wah.
No.
This movie, for me, was dark and drab and depressing. It's not fun. It's not funny. It's missing that human touch, which Superman had in big doses. Because the action pretty much takes place at other planets and mostly in bars, I thought I was watching a rejected Star Wars movie. What a major disappointment.
First off, kudos on your synopsis of this film. I really enjoyed that. And I feel like your notes are very similar to mine with this movie. Again, referencing back to Superman, the brightness, the hope that was in that movie was wonderful. It was a nice change for what we've seen in the DC universe of recent times. And this went back to being a dark film. The action was hard to see because every planet, apparently they had to fight in a dark place, with fight in a dark room or in a dark bar. The action was really difficult to see until you got to the final fight scene, which was more out in the open. But even that was a little tough.
And that, I think, was the time where she puts on the Supergirl uniform.
Right. Yes.
And then that, to me, is when, and it was late in the film, where it actually started to get enjoyable for me.
Right. There's the vague origin story that's in here. I didn't think it really served the character well.
Yeah.
And here's the problem. Millie Alcock, I think she was fine in this. I don't think the
she was.
issue with this movie doesn't lay on her shoulders.
No.
I'm hoping this doesn't stunt her young career, because this is really her first starring role in a movie. And it wasn't a great movie. She was saddled with a boring movie, a boring script.
She deserved a much better story.
You also, I don't think you mentioned Jason Momoa in this movie as Lobo. Lobo is a really interesting character in the DC universe. He's fun. In this movie, I don't know what the point of having Lobo in this movie was. I don't think it furthered her character. I didn't think it enhanced the story at all.
No.
I felt like he was in a different movie and got spliced into this. And also, I love Jason Momoa, but I feel like he's doing the same character in a lot of movies now, where he's just like, I'll be this guy in the Minecraft movie and all these movies. Only in this one, it stood out that he was wearing a rubber muscle suit at points that was distracting. It's like, if you don't want to work out for the movie, that's fine, but this rubber muscle suit was tough.
Well, it was weird for me seeing him in this character because he was Aquaman.
Right.
So does that mean
that's gone?
That's a whole other universe?
That whole universe is dead
done?
now.
He's no longer considered Aquaman?
Yep. That's a dead universe.
Okay.
I just felt like this movie looked cheap. It didn't feel inspired. It didn't give Supergirl much of a chance. And it felt like it had gone through several rewrites, and it didn't have a lot of flow to it. And I felt like the solid moments of weight and consequence were when David Corenswet's Clark shows up in brief moments to have discussions with her. And there's one in particular towards the end where it's a little more than a cameo, where I was like, oh yeah, it's like a breath of fresh air. Like, yes, this is what we want.
I guess there's going to be more interaction between the two in the next one.
Going forward, which is being filmed right now, but those moments served the Supergirl character best because it contrasted her attitude and outlook towards being a hero versus his attitude towards being a hero. And I struggled with this movie. Also, if you're on the internet at all, there's a lot of pub going on about the really rough needle drops that are in this movie. There's a Jimmy Eat World song that shows up in a fight moment where it just feels out of place completely. I don't know. I don't know a lot about Millie Alcock. I know her from the Game of Thrones spinoff, House of the Dragon.
Yeah.
And this. And I just hope this isn't like send her back down to the minor leagues now because this movie was a miss.
Well, was this because James Gunn was not the director? I mean, he was.
His fingers are all over this thing.
Well, he's a producer.
Right.
Craig Gillespie was the director. His previous films were Lars and the Real Girl.
Love that movie.
Which is really good. I, Tonya, which I like.
Yes.
Cruella, which was fine. So I don't know what happened here.
I feel like maybe it was. It feels like there's some meddling in here because there's definitely James Gunn influences in this movie. I feel like there was some rewrites going on, some let me help you with this going on, and it just didn't work out. The darkness and the tone of it just didn't follow where I wanted it to go. I don't know. I feel like we're kind of the same on this on this aspect. All right, you have anything else to say about Supergirl?
No.
No. All right, what did you go ahead and give Supergirl then?
I gave Supergirl 2 stars. It was super disappointing.
Yeah, I thought it was super mediocre. I gave it 2.5 stars.
Ooh.
This is
All right.
really Superman. I think I gave 4.5.
Oh, I loved it.
Yeah, I mean that was a fun one. This one
Absolutely
was
loved it.
a bit of a miss. All right, moving on. We have some family movies this month, and the first one we have is, I believe, is this me? Yes,
I think so.
Minions and Monsters from director Pierre Coffin. We have some Minions. You know about these guys. Look at them. Got the little yellow guys.
They're in pretzel bites.
They're everywhere. So we have 3 Minions, the artistic ones, James, Henry, and Ed. They love film. We see that they inadvertently become movie stars way back in the early days of film, stumbling into the great train robbery film. But when talkies come around, that's tough for the little yellow guys. They can no longer be the unexpected Hollywood stars that they stumbled into being. And in an effort to create their film masterpiece, they team up to use a spell book to unleash a monster named Goomy, which is a baby Cthulhu. Goomy says he will help
baby
them.
what?
Cthulhu.
Okay.
Goomy says he's going to help them with this movie, and he has some fearsome monster friends that'll help star in their new monster movie, and it's going to be great. But nothing ever goes to plan when the Minions are involved, and Ed and his monster pals don't want to be in Goomy and his monster pals don't want to be in a schlocky monster movie. They want to take over the world. Meanwhile, the rest of the Minions have chosen to follow a robot from the future named Dort, who is determined to invade Earth. There's clues that Dort is not the alien robot that he professes to be, and he might just be a guy in a robot costume who lives in an apartment with a stoner, a failed actor perhaps, but Dick and the other Minions are fervent believers, and they will help him find love and help him destroy the planet at all, no matter what happens. And I am not a fan of Minions, Despicable Me movies. I find them tiresome and tedious. But this movie, maybe it was the subject matter of old Hollywood and stuff, the monster movies and robot sci-fi movies. But I felt like this was a fun story. It felt like Babylon at points, which I enjoyed.
Well, I think they paid tribute to that at one point, didn't they?
Yeah.
With the bananas?
This hit me in a sweet spot and kept me watching. Dort cracked me up throughout the movie. I really enjoyed the Dort character I don't know why. These are so dumb. But this one I enjoyed quite a bit.
Well, okay. Full disclosure, I have not seen the first 2 Minions movies.
You're totally fine.
I saw the first Despicable Me. I think I saw the second one. This, to me, was a movie of 2 halves. First half was geared toward adults. Second half aimed for the kids. I enjoyed the first half because it was the tribute, the love letter to old Hollywood.
Beautiful homage to cinema.
You know, I was not expecting that. It was different. It was fun. I liked the bits with George Lucas and Citizen Kane.
Yeah.
I like Christoph Waltz as Max, the movie director. Jeff Bridges playing the twin movie moguls. Jesse Eisenberg, I didn't recognize his voice as Dort.
Yeah.
Which I guess is a tribute to Gort of The Day the Earth Stood Still.
Beautiful.
But then you get to the second half and the monsters come in and here we go. It's the typical animated feature chaos and confusion and chases and mayhem. And I lost interest.
Yeah.
The rest of the movie, I just went, okay. It's the same old stuff.
Uh-huh.
You know, I thought they had a good thing going and then they just kind of gave up on that.
I have seen all these movies, and I think part of it is I appreciated that this wasn't the mindless stupidity that comes with all of the Minions movies. I think they're just...
I thought but that's what you saw in the second half.
Right, but that's normally an hour and a half of that. And
so you were okay with just half of it?
Yes, absolutely. Well, and, you know, the old Hollywood aesthetic got me in. It drew me in, and I wasn't immediately turned off by the movie like I am most of the times when I watch Despicable Me movies, where I'm just like, this is this is dumb. So they did. They got me hooked, and then I was in for it and enjoyed it more than I was expecting to.
Well, when I first saw the Minions and Despicable Me, I thought, okay, they're kind of funny. They're a little bit on the cute side. I got more into the story where Gru was adopting the 3 kids. And I didn't think the Minions were going to go anywhere. Boy, was I wrong. Whoever came up with that idea for Minions is probably a billionaire by now, all the stuff that the Minions are in with the commercials and everything. But I just loved the first half, and I thought, boy, this is so different. And you've got Dort in a romance with a suffragette, Debbie, who's voiced by Zoe Deutsch. And then Goomy gets on board and brings him to some island to find the monsters. And I'm like, oh.
Like Goomy was adorable. I just wanted to eat him up.
Yeah, I think I graduated with a guy named Goomy. I've seen 3 animated features so far this year.
Okay.
And of the 3, this is third.
We have Toy Story.
Toy Story's first, Hoppers is second. Because Hoppers, this to me followed the same formula as Hoppers.
Hoppers fell apart in the end too.
It did. The first half of Hoppers was great. Second half, just like what happened with this movie. And I don't know why this formula is being, I guess it's because we got to keep the kids happy.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
Yeah. All right, what did you end up giving the Minions and the Monsters?
2.5.
2.5.
Yeah.
I gave it a shocking 3.5.
Whoa.
Yeah. Yeah, give it a 3.5. Why not? I was in on it. I had fun with it.
Now you're looking forward to the next one.
And I'll get suckered. Yeah, exactly. Exactly right. All right, moving ahead, we have another of the Disney live-action remakes.
Yeah, it's Moana, directed by Thomas Kail, and this is a live-action adaptation of the 2016 animated feature. I didn't see the original film, so I have nothing to compare it to. No, I didn't. I'm sorry.
I've seen it plenty of times for you, don't worry.
Moana's played by Catherine Lagaya.
Lagaya.
Okay, I'll let you say that from now on. She's the daughter of Tui, the chief of the Polynesian island of Matanui. And while Moana's next in line as chief, she knows that she's destined for bigger and better things, which are beyond the reef. And she's been told, you can't go beyond the reef. So when she was a young child, Moana was chosen by the ocean to return a stone heart to Te Fiti, the goddess of nature. 1,000 years ago, the stone was stolen by Maui, played by Dwayne Johnson. I guess he's no longer The Rock. And he's reprising his role that he had in the animated feature. Maui stole the heart to give humanity the power of creation, but now blight has struck Moana's island. It's killing its food sources. So Moana, upon the advice of her wise grandmother, sneaks off on a boat to go beyond the reef to find Maui and get him to restore the heart to eliminate the darkness that's destroying the island. But all Maui's interested in is stealing Moana's boat to get his magic fish hook back from the claws of Tamatoa, a giant crab. You got all that?
I'm in.
I mean, there's so much going on here. I don't know, was the original film this complex?
Yeah, this is, I mean, it's kind of almost a shot-for-shot remake, like scene-for-scene remake.
Yeah, there were times when I felt like I needed a written guide to understand what was going on. I kept thinking to myself as I'm watching this, how do little kids figure out what's going on here?
Little kids are there for the music.
Yeah, I guess. But, you know, let's get the first question out of the way. Was this remake necessary because the original one came out only 10 years ago?
The sequel only came out 2 years ago.
There was a Moana 2 in 2024. I didn't see that either. And, yeah, the answer is probably no. But they're going to continue to be done. I'm sure a live-action version of Frozen's on the way, which I'm surprised they haven't done that yet. But having said that, the movie wasn't as bad as I thought it would be.
I'm just so exhausted by these Disney live-action remakes. I mean, they continue to press forward with these. And there's at first they were like cash grabs. We'll just remake one of our own movies with live action and just remake our animated hits. And I think it's the least inspiring, least artistically interesting thing that Disney has ever done, is to just remake its own movies. And it's provided a series of pretty truly awful films for the most part. I think there's more misses than hits for sure.
There are.
And I can't imagine anyone that actually prefers the live action versions over the animated versions. But now they're not cash grabs. Now they're losing big dollars. And attaching your franchise to The Rock, which used to be a surefire box office hit, is no longer the case. He has not done good at the box office in years. And the only live action versions that I've enjoyed from the Disney universe were, I enjoyed the Jungle Book remake, but then the 2 times they told villain stories, Maleficent and Cruella, I thought were interesting because they were original stories based off of these things. And so this film, I don't think it's offensive. I think it's unnecessary. It doesn't add anything to the Moana movies or the universe. And much like Dwayne's wig, it made me ask myself, why? Why is this a thing?
But he wanted it that way. He's a producer, and he wanted it that way. He did not want it, from what I've read, he did not want it to deviate at all from the original.
Right. I don't know why we need this. I don't know who it's for. My 13-year-old daughter, who 10 years ago, when the first one came out, was 3. Moana was one of her movies, right?
Okay.
Moana and Frozen were like her first 2 movies of her generation.
Yeah.
Loved them. Knew every song, blah, blah, blah. She watches this one. She's clowning Dwayne's wig while we're watching it. And we get done, and she wasn't like
wasn't impressed?
Yeah, because like I'd rather just watch the one I like. Earlier this year, we got the Lilo and Stitch live action remake, which was kind of a snooze, I thought.
No, I like that.
Yeah, and then you mentioned Frozen. They have so many. The Tangled live action is in production right now.
You're right, yeah.
Hercules, a Guy Ritchie version of the Hercules.
Oh, no.
Aristocats, Questlove is directing the Aristocats movie. Like, they have these lined up, and I think they are just horrible decisions left and right, but we are going to keep getting them. And Disney is losing money left and right with these. I don't understand it.
Well, I don't even know if it's fair to even call this a live action remake, because half of it is actually animation.
That's the other part, is you call these live action, but yes. They said that they called the Lion King one a live action remake. Like, there wasn't a real animal in that movie. That was all cartoon.
I mean, you got the chicken, you got the pig, you got the
entire environment,
crab, the coconut pirates,
the Rock's body,
the tattoo that's jumping around on his
Maui's little Maui
bicep or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah,
it's
I
thought it was I thought it was one of the better ones I've seen.
Yeah, I was checked out on this thing. I don't know why. I don't know why. There's such a lack of creativity in Hollywood right now, and I think this is the epicenter of lack of creativity. This sequelitis that came about decades ago, where it's like, we'll just remake something that was good. We'll just keep remaking. We'll just keep making sequels to something that's good. This is just the lesser version of that. We'll just keep remaking the same exact movie. I'd rather them focus on making something creative and new. I don't know. I had a rough time with this, but what did you end up giving Moana?
I thought it was average, 2.5 stars.
Okay, all right. Like I said, I didn't hate this movie. I
must have been in a good mood that day.
I gave it 2 stars. It's not bad. It's just unnecessary.
Yeah.
I'd much rather just watch the original Moana for the 50th time. We have outgrown that finally in my house. All right, now for something a little more adult, we have something for the adults in the audience, which is a nice breath of fresh air. What do you have for us?
Is this The Invite?
It is.
Okay, The Invite, directed by Olivia Wilde, and it's written by Will McCormick and Rashida Jones. You may remember her from starring in The Office and Parks and Recreation. This is an English language remake of a 2020 Spanish film called The People Upstairs. And the setting for pretty much most of the movie is a dinner party in an apartment hosted by husband and wife Joe and Angela. Joe's played by Seth Rogen. He's a failed musician. He now teaches jazz at a conservatory. He hates his job. And he's like me. He wants nothing to do with this party or meeting new people. I could identify with him. Angela, on the other hand, played by Olivia Wilde, she's bored. She's a stay-at-home wife. She's obsessed with throwing the perfect dinner party. Everything has to be just right for her guests, who are their upstairs neighbors, Divorcee Pina, who's played by Penelope Cruz, and Widower Hawk, played by Edward Norton. Joe wants to confront the couple about the noise they make from their romance upstairs.
A lot of coitus going on.
Yeah, but Angela, who's desperate to befriend the neighbors, demands that he keep calm and quiet and just shut up. So Joe likes to make fun of Hawk's name, and Olivia's going crazy because Joe forgot the wine. I'm going to stop right there. There's a lot that happens during the party, and I know people are probably going to go, that's it? It's a dinner party? It's just the 4 actors? Yeah, that's what it is. I don't want to give anything away because there's some things that do happen that I was not expecting, but despite the setting, despite the fact that it's just pretty much the 4 of them, other than the beginning of the movie, this story is smart. It's got some surprises in it. There's a lot of humor. I laughed out loud multiple times, and I got to tell you, it wouldn't have worked without these 4 actors. It's strong performances from all 4. Mm-hmm. This ensemble succeeds in making this a pretty entertaining film.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like a simple 4-hander in one setting, in one apartment, but each character's given their moment. The slow burn of where the story is going really works, and it's a throwback to films from an older era where you could just make films for adults. And Seth Rogen, like you said, Seth Rogen is very relatable to me. Like, yeah, I know where this guy's coming from. And his little quips during the arguments and nervous conversations hit me a lot. Really funny.
Well, he can sometimes be the death of a movie.
He can overpower it, but he was...
But I was surprised at how real he was here while still maintaining that Rogen persona.
I think he's found something, though, with his Apple TV show, which was phenomenal. And then this, it feels like he's starting to kind of figure out the persona that works best for him, because he can be very overpowering.
Yeah, I think this is one of his best performances.
I love the comedy that comes out of very uncomfortable situations, and this movie is almost entirely uncomfortable situations.
Yep.
It's got great writing. It balances the animosity of a marriage on the rocks and how uncomfortable that can be to be around. And the idea of the perfect couple upstairs who seems to have it all figured out and making Olivia Wilde and Seth Rogen's characters feel less than worthy. I love that. But then it also has this sweetness to the movie in parts. And it's got real moments and real conversations and doubts and repressed feelings I love. And Penelope Cruz is not an actress that I'm really a huge fan of. It's been a few and far between where I enjoy her in movies. I thought she was perfect in this.
She was really good.
I mean, Edward Norton is a great actor. It's been a while since he did something meaty, I felt like. And
I actually thought his performance was the weakest.
Of the 4, yes.
Of the 4 it was, because I know I have seen him play this type of character before. I can't name the film, but I know he's done this before.
A firefighter with an obsession for rugs?
No. That's snarky guy who knows everything.
Yeah.
But the performance that surprised me the most came from somebody that I'm not a huge fan of, and that's Olivia Wilde.
Yeah.
I thought she was the best. I thought she was just perfect in this role. She just goes through so many emotions and feelings throughout this film. Her marriage is falling apart. She's trying to put on a happy face. She's working hard to do something different and host this dinner party. And I thought she did a great job as the director. I forgive her for the 2022 debacle, Don't Worry, Darling, which was a horrible movie.
I feel like she brought a lot of that experience into this movie, though, because while she was making that, she had the really rough divorce from her husband, Jason Sudeikis, who served her divorce papers on stage at a convention. I mean, just rough stuff. And it felt like she brought a lot of that, of this rough time amidst her famously tumultuous time making that movie that bombed horribly. And I thought she did a great job of, she was nervous and uneasy and raw emotions everywhere in this movie. And it's a movie that's not afraid of living in a contentious environment. And I thought, like, unlike The Roses from last year, it doesn't it doesn't get silly with it. It
Oh.
stays real with it the
That
entire
one
time.
stunk.
I wanted more of this. I want more movies like this.
Well, I do too.
This was a fun time in the cinema, and I didn't know what to expect going into it. I kind of stayed away from any synopsis or spoilers, and wow, this one blew me away.
Well, the granddaddy of couple gathering movies is Who's Afraid of
Right.
Virginia Woolf,
Yes.
which came out in 1966.
Very similar.
Starred Elizabeth Taylor and Richard Burton. Directed by Mike Nichols. A classic film. If you want to get uncomfortable, well, you can watch that one.
Yeah.
You will get uncomfortable. The Invite, not up to that level, but it's pretty darn close.
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good companion piece to watch. Yeah, I am glad that we got this around the area because I was worried that we weren't going to be able to see this in our area. What did you end up giving The Invite?
I gave it a strong 4 stars. You're going to have to kind of search for it. It's still in theaters. There's no official streaming or video on demand date yet, probably sometime in the fall, but I would recommend it.
Yeah, I recommend it as well. I give it 4.5 stars. Fun time. Good time at the movies, especially if you are a married person and have felt some of these emotions. I don't know if it's going to work for, if you're a 19-year-old kid. I don't think you have lived the life to understand a lot of it, but boy, it's a fun time. All right, let's move on to our final film of our discussion here, and it is the film that I know I've been looking forward to since it was announced and didn't think it was ever going to come. It's The Odyssey, Christopher Nolan's
Never heard of it.
Christopher Nolan's telling of one of history's most epic tales. It is the trials of Odysseus, the man who helped Agamemnon defeat Troy and then defied the gods. It's a massive story filled with vengeance, political intrigue, epic military battles, monsters, and magic. Odysseus, here played by Matt Damon, has been gone from Ithaca for 20 years, having gone to Troy in the war and never made it back home. There's tales, poems, and songs of his legend, but his wife Penelope, played by the great Anne Hathaway, is left in a castle to raise their son Telemachus, played by Tom Holland, as the castle fills with suitors, greedy men who seek to marry her and take the throne. Telemachus knows that he must either find his father or watch as his mother is forced to choose a suitor, and so he goes out in search of him, or at least news of his father after the war. And so this film gives us competing storylines as Telemachus meets Menelaus, played by John Barenthal, who's the king of Sparta, who is there in the Trojan War, in the Trojan horse. And we see those events as told through flashbacks. We see the happenings inside Ithaca as Telemachus is gone, as Antinous, played by Robert Pattinson, the lead suitor, really, schemes and plots under the nose of Lady Penelope. And we follow Odysseus, living with and being cared for by Calypso, played by Charlize Theron, as he works to regain his memory of what he's been through, what his men went through, where his men might be. And this last part is the part that gives us the bulk of the story as he starts to recount his story, what happened after the war in Troy. He recounts breaking Zeus's law, angering Poseidon, and the creatures he and his men met with tragic results. And if you know anything about Homer's Odyssey, you know that about the Cyclops, the witch, the sirens, all the trials that he has to go through. And ultimately, this is a tale of loss and vengeance of a man who just wants to return home. And I mentioned a bunch of names, but this cast is crazy deep with who's and great small performances.
Very small performances.
Right. I mean, there's so much going on in here, and I trying to pick out who I enjoyed the most. Anne Hathaway continues to build on a highlight year with a great performance. She had a couple of scenes with Tom Holland that gave me chills as she's lecturing him about what it's like to be sitting on a throne without a king. That I was like, yeah, you go ahead, Anne Hathaway, go for it. And one person who I didn't mention, John Leguizamo.
That was the standout for
An
me.
actor who I've never left a movie saying, you know who I really liked in that? John Leguizamo. But this time, he stood out as Eumaeus.
100% agree.
Oh, man. Oh, how unexpected.
Yes, but I wish you would have been with me when I watched this, because then you could have said what you just said. You could have said, that's who this person is, and that's what's happening
Okay.
here, and that's this, because I'm not a follower of Greek mythology, and throughout most of the film, I'm thinking, who's that character, and is that a god or a mortal, or what's the significance of this person to the story? Are we in the past? Are we in the present? I got lost. I read a review where the critic wrote this. He said, this is the most Nolan of Nolan spectacles. And I think that pretty much sums it up. He's out-spectacled himself on this one, but I can't join the rest of the crowd and call this a masterpiece. It looks great. It sounds great. Throughout the movie, I said to myself, boy, I hope there's going to be a documentary someday about how this movie was made, because there were multiple times when I said to myself, how did they do that? How did they do that with that Trojan horse? I don't think that was CGI.
Really nothing was. The Cyclops was not CGI. It was an actual puppet, and then also played by Bill Irwin, Mr. Noodle from Sesame Street fame. When the shades come out of the ground
I didn't even
in
know
Hades.
that was him until afterwards. I thought that's the psychiatrist from Law and Order.
When all the
SVU.
soldiers come out of the ground in Hades, they actually buried them and had them come out of the ground.
But the issue for me was it's a great show, but it overshadowed the substance. The spectacle dominated over the story, and the balance to me seemed to be off. And maybe that's because this was more of a throwback action thriller where the story is secondary to that. It did not become a real Christopher Nolan movie to me, at least the Nolan that I admire, until the final third of the film, when something happens with Odysseus. I'm not going to say what that is. I think you know what I'm talking about. And then I thought, okay, from that point forward, now we've got something here, but it took a while to get to that point. You mentioned John Leguizamo. I thought Samantha Morton was great.
Oh, she was great as Circe.
The scene she is in, though, don't eat your popcorn during that scene. It's a little stomach churning. But you get these big stars like Zendaya and Charlize Theron and John Bernthal. Big names, but very tiny contributions.
That's because
But
everyone wants to work
They want to
with
be in
Nolan.
this movie.
Right, and
Yeah.
he kind of carries casts from film to film. You know, you've worked with me, Anne Hathaway, you're going to do a third movie with me. You know, Zendaya, you're in another movie with me. And I thought Zendaya, as Athena, didn't have much to say, but she was a powerful part of the story. And I think the weakest actor in this movie for me was Matt Damon as Odysseus. He was fine. I feel like I was watching the movie saying, you know who really would have hammered this home? Our guy, Joel Edgerton. You put Joel Edgerton in that role,
Yeah.
forget about
I
it.
think yeah.
He would have been perfect.
Yes, he would have.
But Nolan's movies are known for an incredible eye for visuals and a keen ear for sound design, right? When they strike the Cyclops in the cave, that sound that came out shook the theater that I was in.
Did you see it in IMAX?
I've seen this movie multiple times. One of them was in
You've
IMAX.
seen it multiple times?
I saw it twice on opening weekend.
What?
Yeah, I put 6 hours in. I'm seeing it again this week.
Are you kidding me?
I'm dead serious.
So you saw it in IMAX?
Yes,
Does it make a difference?
it does.
It does.
It was shot in 70mm IMAX. So yes, there is a difference between.
You were able to get tickets?
Yeah.
Because I'm reading that people are going to like 2 a.m. shows, maybe not around here, but
Yeah, not
somewhere.
around here.
No,
and that's
no.
for the true IMAX, which we don't have.
Okay, this is not.
got a
Oh,
fake-
there's a true IMAX.
Well, on the coast they have the actual, and I think the nearest one to us is down in Chicago. They have
Okay.
a true IMAX.
So how many times have you seen this?
Just twice right now, but I'll see it a
right.
third time this week. Yeah.
Okay, well I know where your score is.
I mean, for me, the runtime flew by. It's 3 hours. Runtime flew by. I was transfixed.
Do you think this is his best film?
I don't think it's his best film, but he's got a great filmography of
Yes,
movies
he
that I
does.
love. I think that it's better than Oppenheimer.
No, I disagree.
I think it's better than
I
Oppenheimer.
thought everything came together on that one.
Yeah, I think this is.
I actually don't. I actually think the last two Batman movies are better.
Oh, that last Batman movie was not great. I did not like.
Really?
Dark Knight Rises.
Yeah.
Had huge flaws.
Oh.
Huge flaws. This movie, I'm a big fan of the story. I've spent the last year and a half reading the Odyssey, listening to
600
podcasts.
It's 600 pages.
Not reading it. I'm listening to it.
Okay.
And then listening to podcasts that
I think I read the cliff
break
notes at
down
some point.
the Iliad and the Odyssey. So I have been deep in this for like the last year and a half, and I'm thinking to myself, it's impossible to make this movie. It's been tried in the past. There's been bad versions of this movie made. One of them starring Armand Assante that was not good, and this is incredibly difficult to translate to the screen without making it a 3-picture, 10-hour story.
Sure.
And I think Nolan did a great job of making it digestible, making it coherent, and gave it pace. And the 3 hours flew by. This 3-hour film felt like an hour 40 to me, whereas the more recent Avatar film felt like a 10-hour film that I was sitting through. And this was one of those films that I couldn't get out of my head. And it's the superhero movie that I needed this summer, as opposed to the superhero movie that we got this summer. And I enjoyed it a lot.
I don't disagree with much of what you said. I just thought there was just something missing, and I wanted more story as opposed to...
I can't imagine more story in this. There's so much story.
But I don't think it flowed very well. Every time I go online, there's something new about this movie.
Sure. Well, it's the big thing.
Whether it's all the bad, negative stuff that's out there, which I completely ignore, but there's just something new about this. Every day, it's like it's almost the new Titanic.
Well, it is also, there's nothing out against it. There's nothing out this week to draw away from it. It's setting box office records.
And we can probably say it right now. I can't think of anything else that's coming out for the rest of the year that will maybe compete with it.
This thing's going to get 13 Oscar nominations.
It's going to win Best Picture. I have no doubt. Now, if it does end up doing that, I'm not going to be disappointed with that. I think it'll probably win. I'm like, okay, fine, that's great, but I don't know if I'll ever watch this one again, as opposed to you.
By the time we talk next, I'll have seen this probably 4 times.
Oh, no.
I really enjoy this movie. I pick up new things the second time I watched it, it made more sense.
Yeah, maybe.
Pieces got pieces, because it's not a linear storyline
No, it's not.
as the book is. And so I was a little twisted on when this, where this. So the second time I watched it, everything dropped into place for me.
I know I'm in the minority on this. I get it.
That's all right.
But I've talked to a few people that have seen it that felt the same way I did.
No.
So,
Send them to the movie. You should come with me. I'll whisper in your ear through the movie. This is why they're doing this.
Okay. That's kind of creepy, but that's okay.
It's all right. No worries. All right. I'm curious then. What score you ended up giving the Odyssey?
I'm a Christopher Nolan fan. I'll give credit where credit's due. I gave it 3.5 stars, but boy, I just could not go higher than that. I struggled. I just could not.
You didn't love Benny Safdie's performance as Agamemnon?
I didn't even realize that was him. He's underneath the helmet the whole time.
One frame, basically, as he's telling his story. You get one frame where the helmet's off, and I was like, oh, that's Benny Safdie. Look at that. Yeah. There's been a lot of publicity this week about how unrealistic his uniform, how Batman-esque his uniform is.
There's been...
This is a story about magic and monsters.
There's been stuff about the casting choices and the use of American accents and the modern English dialogue and the AI version, which is supposedly going to be coming out.
Gonna stink. Grok is making a version. Get out. Yeah. No, thank you. I'll watch this one again because I gave this one 5 stars.
Whoa, I knew it.
Yeah.
As I was watching this movie, I kept saying to myself, Jameson's going to love this.
Here's the thing.
He's going to give it 5 stars.
I went into this movie hoping it was a 5-star movie. That backfires half the time, right? Or you go in like a year and a half of being like, I can't wait for this movie. It's going to be the best movie. That never lives up to it. This one lived up to it.
I think it's your first 5-star of the year, isn't it?
I think it might be.
Yeah, I think it is.
I believe it is. Pretty tough with those. All right, those are the movies of the month.
Are we done?
Well, let's look back though. Here we are. We're just past the halfway point of the year. Let's talk real quick about some movies that we loved in the first half of 2026. Our best of the year so far. You have some movies?
Yeah, I just came up with a top 5 best films so far. I wrote down 2016.
Oh boy,
it's 2026,
oh,
right?
No.
Okay, no, 2026. I'll just run through them real quick here. Number 5, one that we just talked about, not the Odyssey, The Invite. Very smart, good adult film. Not that kind of adult film, but a good one for the grown-ups. Number 4, it's on Netflix, Remarkably Bright Creatures. Have you seen this one yet?
Still haven't seen it. I'm busy watching the Odyssey.
You watch the Odyssey 10 times, but you won't watch this. Sally Field and a octopus.
She marries an octopus or something?
No. Number 3, it's the epic Elvis Presley in concert movie.
Oh, yeah.
Baz Luhrmann's.
The good one.
It is so good. If you like Elvis, seek this one out. I think it's on, is it on Max?
Boy, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Number 2, Disclosure Day, Steven Spielberg. I thought it was one of his best. And then number 1, can you guess my number 1?
Was there a dog in it? Project Hail Mary.
Yeah.
Of course, I knew this.
Project Hail Mary with Ryan Gosling.
Of course. Love that Gosling.
I think it's on Prime now. If you haven't seen it, see it. But make sure you have plenty of Kleenex. I loved it.
Yeah, I think it's been a fairly decent first half of the year so far. I also made a quick little top 5. I have The Bone Temple, the 28 years later sequel that came out at the start of the year. Really enjoyed that. I've watched that a couple of times. Project Hail Mary is on there.
Is it on your top 5?
Project Hail Mary is my number 4. Yes. My number 3 is The Invite. My number 2 is a movie that I don't expect you to see or have seen. Nirvana, the band, the show, the movie. A movie which I have rewatched 3 times now since it came out on DVD.
Okay.
I love it so much. And then number 1 is,
The
don't
Odyssey.
joke, The Odyssey. That's
you know what
movie.
I'm surprised at, though?
What's that?
You don't have either Obsession or Backrooms in
So
there.
they are 6 and 7.
Okay.
The problem is I saw them a day apart, and they have similar themes, and they kind of sit in the same space with me. I gave them both the same score, and I have a hard time separating them in my head for some reason because of all that. So they kind of sit tied at 6-7.
Where's Masters of the Universe?
Oh, way down. What are we at? I think 92?
You know, that just came out on Prime.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, I almost canceled my Prime, so I don't have to see it anymore. So let's talk about what we're going to be reviewing, or what's coming out in the next month, and we might be talking about some of these on our August episode. As we are recording right now, we have some new movies. We have Uke, the documentary about the great and late Bob Uecker. We have Motor City, a gangster drama set in the 1970s starring Alan Rickson and Ben Foster. Which looks, I watch anything with Ben Foster in it.
Is that in the theater?
Supposed to be.
Okay.
We'll see.
I've never heard of that.
We have Her Private Hell, the newest film from director Nicholas Winding Refn, who has made some great strange features such as Neon Demon, Only God Forgives, and the great Drive. Starring your guy Ryan Gosling.
Yep.
This one is another psychological thriller revolving around glamour, sex, and violence. Those are 3 of my favorite things. July 31st, we have Spider-Man, Brand New Day. Maybe a good good superhero movie coming out. We also have I Want Your Sex, the new Olivia Wilde, Cooper Hoffman film, which I gave a brief review after the film fest. Really enjoyable film. On August 7th, we have One Night Only. Kind of a strange concept for a film. It's almost like The Purge, but for sex.
With Monica Barbaro.
And Callum Turner.
I love her. She's so good.
Sex is outlawed except for on one night of the year.
Not a Callum Turner guy, but
So
I like her.
We also have Super Troopers 3, which I'm looking forward to coming out just so I don't have to see those ads at the Marcus Theaters anymore. We also have that same date, Late Fame, a dramedy starring Willem Dafoe and Greta Lee, which looks really interesting to me. And then we have The End of Oak Street, a family horror film, dinosaur action-adventure Hitchcock-type thriller starring the great Anne Hathaway as she continues her dominance, and Ewan McGregor. And then lastly, in the middle of August, we have The Wrong Girls, which is a strange-looking stoner comedy starring Kristen Stewart, Aaliyah Shakwa, and Cate Blanchett, which I'm kind of curious about.
Okay.
It's a strange cast for a weird movie, but those are the films of the next 3 to 4 weeks. And we'll be talking about some of those as we get to that point. So, any trivia for us as we leave?
No. You guessed I got to come up with a tougher question.
Yeah, we got to get tougher with this.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we want to thank everyone here at the Sun Prairie Media Center for helping make this possible. And, of course, we want to thank Mara Trusty for helping produce this show. None of this would happen without the amazing Mara Trusty. So until our next episode, I'm Jameson.
And I'm Steve.
Have a great one.